Kia Joy said, can you talk more about split stays? Is there a recommended ratio if you want to do the dining for the part? Which half is the best? How do the luggage transfers work? Thank you in advance. So I have done a few split stays, and I love split stays because honestly, we are a family of 6, and for us to stay at most deluxe resorts, we need 2 rooms, and it's very expensive for us, at least. I mean, it's expensive for us to stay anywhere, but you know, that's really expensive. So how we do it, so like a lot of times we would just do 2. One time we did 3 resorts. I don't know if I'd do that again, but we stay at like the less exciting resort. So for us, that trip, I think we started at like, I don't think it was Art of Animation. It might have been, or it might have just been 2 rooms and a value. We started there for a few days and we got the dining plan. And that way we had cups for the length of our stay, and we got the quick service dining plan. That's why we did this, yes. So we did a value with a quick service dining plan for a couple days so that we had our mugs and we just kind of ate snacks and kind of eased our way into it. And then we moved to the deluxe. Then we moved to Beach Club. And I will say no. We started, that was when Ellie was still free in a room because she was under 3. And so we actually stayed at Caribbean Beach. We got quick service dining. Things were, no, we got table service dining. Things were fine. We got our mugs. We were able to eat. So we did like Saturday until like Wednesday. So from Saturday at 12 a.m. until Wednesday night at 12 p.m. or no, 12 a.m. we had dining. So when we actually moved over on Wednesday, because we checked into the deluxe resort, which was Beach Club, we still had dining that day, and we were able to use all of those credits that day. And then that night we went and got like sandwiches and stuff like that from our cafeteria and our resort for our quick service credits. And we got some snacks of like some muffins and things like that. And we actually had breakfast and lunch the next day as well. And then while we were at Beach Club, we ate at like cheaper restaurants. So like if you go to the boardwalk, there's a pizza shop. We ate there. That was really cheap. Beaches and Cream was really cheap. Those places that don't need, or that aren't super expensive. Like when we were on the dining plan, that's when we were doing our character dining. That's when we were doing all those more expensive restaurants that really add up. You know, some of those restaurants at Disney Springs that are really expensive because it was a huge value for us. And when we were at the Beach Club, we also didn't get a ton of Disney snacks. I don't actually think we got any Disney snacks because one, we had some left over from our dining portion. Every time we ate dining in our hotel, we would always get the drink that came with the meal, and then we would just fill up our mug, and then we had tons of drinks for when we weren't on the dining plan. We had snacks for when we weren't on the dining plan, and it kind of, you know, bled over. And then we finished that trip where we went to Port Orleans Riverside. we bounced that trip, and we actually got on the quick service dining plan so that we, you know, could have some more meals and not be so worried about the price. Would I ever do that again? No. What I would do is I would stay at a value, and I would have the dining plan for a few days, and I would, you know, get your dining and all that stuff, and then I would move to your like deluxe resort, and maybe not have the dining then, because it is more expensive to stay in a deluxe resort than a value resort. You could also do like table service and then quick service. There's so many ways you can do it. There's not a rhyme or reason to do it, but I always say finish at the good resort because you don't want to like go back down, if that makes any sense. I will say, once you stay at a deluxe resort, you see the value in it. I have not stayed at a ton of deluxe resorts. I've stayed at Saratoga. I've stayed at Animal Kingdom Lodge, Beach and Yacht Club. And that's it for deluxe. And it's hard to go back. Like our last trip, we stayed at Saratoga, and it's really nice. I mean, you have laundry in the room, you have a big kitchen. That's something to think of too. Like whenever we did it, our rooms, like our room at Saratoga had a full kitchen. There was no need for us to have a dining plan. It just didn't make sense. So that works. But if you do the dining plan first and you have your mug that you can carry, because your mug I think lasts for like 10 or 11 days. It could be more than that. So yeah, that's how we do it. They will move your luggage. If you have a travel agent, just tell your travel agent to make sure that they do a continuing stay, which means you're continuing your stay, but you're going elsewhere. So what you'll do is you'll take your bags to Bell Services like you would like if you were going on Magical Express or something like that, and just tell them that you're moving, and they'll move your bags over. And we've never, like, we've always done it, dropped off our bags and then gone to another resort, and they were there by the time we got back, so it wasn't a big deal. So that's not anything that you really need to worry about. And then if you want dining, which half is best? Like I said, I think the front part, because then you get your mug, and you're kind of sick of eating, you're sick of the dining plan by that point, and it works better for me, I think. And you know, just make sure. So I use something called, what is it called? DizTripPlanner.com. And I put in all the dining that I want and when I want it, and it tells you which ones are best value and about how much they'll be. So I always use that to decide when I should do my dining. You know, character meals due on the dining plan. A lot of your Disney spring type things like Homecoming and things like that do on the dining plan. Things like T-Rex or Rainforest Cafe and Animal Kingdom. If you're a Landry's member and it's your birthday month that you're traveling, get the Landry's membership. It's $25. You'll get $50 off your first order, and their prices are pretty cheap and you can share. Anything that you have to pick from a menu and not like a character kind of like buffet type meal, look at them. Look at the menus, because a lot of times you can share, which would make it cheaper and not worth using a dining credit. There will never be a time that it doesn't make sense to use character dining for your dining credits. You know, so that's something to think of. And then too, then you're kind of like over and done with the character meals, because you're also kind of sick of that. Like sometimes you just want to sit in a meal and not have Mickey in your face. You know what I mean? Like I love me some Mickey, but like I don't want him in my face 24/7. So yeah, that's my advice on split stays. I think do them. They're really cool to try a resort. For me, I can swallow the price of a deluxe resort for a couple days. I don't think I could swallow it for like a full week. Like when we just went to Disney for Christmas, not this year, but last Christmas, we had 2 nights at a value resort, and I was on like a travel agent rate, and that rate still sucked to swallow. That I don't think I could have done a deluxe, because you have to think, for what we spend for 2 rooms at a value is probably what most spend. It's in between like a moderate and a deluxe, so it's expensive. But it's totally worth it. I will always stay on property. I will never not be on property. We've done it before and it's just not worth it to us. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.